Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. So you should have guessed that this was going to happen. We have some interesting news once again within the Bitcoin space. We've been going over this over the course of, it's been about a good 3 or so years now that I've consistently managed to make videos talking about this topic. This is huge. This is gigantic because it means literally the movement of the entire cryptocurrency market as these things are actually coming true. I'm pretty sure you've seen not only the news about the ETFs, but also the news of Bitcoin rising in price. We were talking about that over the course of the last couple of months for those of you who missed it. Since the beginning of this year, Bitcoin has more than, I believe it's more than doubled in price. Why is this interesting? Because we normally do not see this type of movement, a 100% plus movement, until we are like a couple of weeks away and or just after the halving has taken place. However, that was deep. A lot of the momentum that's currently taking place with the ETF has kind of driven the market a bit wild. We continue to get news daily about massive amounts of Bitcoin accumulation by whales, by institutions, by everyday people. You name it, this is a topic that we've gone over a lot as well. You always have to keep in mind, while we hear about companies constantly buying 4,000, 5,000, 17,000 Bitcoin, which is a monstrous amount, there are also normal people who are saving up their money and buying half a Bitcoin, buying a tenth of a Bitcoin, buying 0.01 Bitcoin. If you have 100 people who do that, that's an entire Bitcoin that's also off of the market. We continue to get news from a cryptocurrency analytics firm. They're called Santiment. It's like sentiment, but like Santi in front of it. And they continue to give us news basically about the amount of Bitcoin that's no longer out there for the public. We had news a couple of weeks ago, I think so, on this channel where we were going over the numbers, and the numbers that we previously received a couple of months ago was that I believe it's over 80% of all Bitcoin is now being held by wallets with over 100 Bitcoin. And I believe it's 93% of all Bitcoin is being held by people who have over an entire Bitcoin. So that's 93%. If you have over an entire Bitcoin, that's not counting anyone who might have 0.99, 0.98, half of a Bitcoin, you name it. That's also another gigantic percentage. What we've also been seeing, sorry for the swirling, I like swirling on this chair. What we've also been seeing is that the amount of Bitcoin on cryptocurrency exchanges also continues to decline. This is the most important part of all of it, simply because this actually is going to be the catalyst or the thing that really pushes Bitcoin up in price. It's one thing to see the whales holding, which we've also seen. The metrics for people who are holding for 1 year, 2 years, and 5 years has skyrocketed. Everyone is buying, everyone is holding. No one wants to sell because it is believed that we could hit over 100K, 150K, 200K, the craziest price predictions that we've seen. I think it was like between 400 and 600,000. That was by Kathy Wood and other person who said that they were also expecting crazy movements because of the news that I've been telling you and what I'm also about to tell you right now. People buy typically their Bitcoin on cryptocurrency exchanges. If you buy Bitcoin on the green side, the price goes up because there's less on the exchange to be able to buy, and therefore it's based on supply and demand. As you buy, the higher the price goes. The issue is that if there's not a lot to buy and you click buy, you actually raise the price a lot higher than it was previously expected, because normally it happens in smaller increments. But people keep taking off their Bitcoin from cryptocurrency exchanges. And it's actually gotten to the point where, and I've said this before, I've been saying it for the last couple of years, friendly reminder, there's not a lot left. Because people also don't realize that with the halving comes people who are mining Bitcoin. They're also selling a lot less. It has to do with how much they have to pay for electricity versus how the halving takes place. They get half of the supply that they had before, but if the price does a 5x, they're going to be selling a lot less Bitcoin back onto the market. What people also don't know is that there are tons of like very wealthy individuals who want these coins. They're called clean coins. Whole different discussion. They buy the coins directly from the people who are mining, and these coins never usually actually end up hitting the market because they're gobbling up all of them for themselves. The amount of Bitcoin that we're seeing exiting cryptocurrency exchanges is absolutely completely insane right now. And the vast majority of them are not only moving off of cryptocurrency exchanges, they're actually moving into self-custody. So they're moving into ledgers or moving onto people's laptops, and they're simply not moving. Also in the news as well, from what we're going over, is Tether. The amount of Tether, that is the stable coin that has been minted, created, printed by the company Tether, is also like skyrocketing at the moment. And the last time that we really saw something like this heavy, was around 2016, 2017. What ended up happening is that we found out later on is that apparently there are a bunch of very heavy-handed, wealthy investors behind the scenes who basically work with Tether to digitize money in some sort of way. So they give the people from Tether money and they give them the actual stable coin to be able to deal with in some sort of way. Maybe there's something behind this, I don't really know. But the point is, the more Tether that we see being created is usually an indication that the whales, the richest people, are behind the scenes in gathering up all this Tether to be able to also buy up an enormous amount of Bitcoin as well. That has also reached a 17-month high in the amount of Tether that we're currently seeing being created and put onto cryptocurrency exchanges for wealthy people and also normal people to be able to buy Bitcoin with as well. The other interesting part is the actual numbers. Sentiment recently wrote on Tether that the growth pattern that they're seeing is basically in no uncertain terms, like it looks a little bit insane. They said the shared data shows that Bitcoin's overall supply on exchanges of all the Bitcoin that there is out there is down to 5.38%. So out of 100%, only 5.38% of all the Bitcoin that's actually out there is left on an exchange. And they noted it's the lowest value that we've seen since December 2017. Do you remember December 2017? That's when we hit $20,000 per Bitcoin. We have reached those metrics before we have even gotten to the halving. There was something I saw, oh gosh, what was it, online like a day or two ago, and it was something, it was something along the lines of like people who are paying attention to how like few Bitcoin there actually is left, and what was it? Something along the lines of like people will only realize that there's no Bitcoin left like when the last Bitcoin has been taken off of the exchange and there's basically nothing else left for anyone else because nobody wants to sell. And also the institutions are also buying because of the ETFs and all of that. Yeah, it's really interesting to see the difference in time for all these things that we've been going over for a while now. I sincerely hope that everyone has been paying attention. I know a large amount of you are. I say it simply as like I really want you to get it for exactly what's going on. Always pay attention to the fact that regardless of the 3 transactions per second, Bitcoin is still the number one coin. Odds are it is going to remain the number one coin. And it might be time for a lot of people out there to reevaluate their portfolios to see if Bitcoin could fit inside of it as well, simply because the amount of people in crypto who continue to ignore the news and everything else that's happening with Bitcoin is a little bit insane. In no other financial space would you hear that an asset has outperformed every other asset and you go, I don't think I want any of that. Imagine dealing in the stock market. Imagine dealing in real estate, and you hear that this one area is doing extremely well, and you hear people go, I think I'm going to buy that broken down house about 17 miles away that no one actually wants. Anyway, yeah. The amount of Bitcoin on exchanges continues to dwindle. I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. As always, the article is going to be listed in the description below for those of you who wish to read it and see it. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.